world. Good morning. Humidity, way up. It's about to rain all day. Well, technically, allegedly, for the next week and a half. So, she's floofy. I'm fresh from the dream world. I had some wild dreams, guys. Right before I woke up, this tooth fell out. There was someone from my past I hadn't seen, and I don't know. You know when you can just remember everything really intensely? Yeah. So, cheers. Good morning. Guys, I'm telling you, sweetened condensed milk. We only live once. In your coffee. I'm just saying, treat yourself right. I don't normally love sweet coffee. This is the funny thing. I've got a real appetite. I'm a hedonist. And if you know me, I love to snack. Oddly enough, though, and I love sugar. Part of that snacking. I love all kinds of snacks, but when it comes to sugar, I do love it. Coffee, though, I'm such a purist. I used to only drink it black. Then I switched over to a little bit of cream. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. A little bit of cream. Coffee and my sugar, I'm like, what? But then if I put sweetened condensed milk, I don't know. Tea, I just drink it black. Unless it's a black tea. If it's an herbal tea, just black. Just give me the herbs. If it's a black tea, I used to work with these cooks from Sri Lanka, and they would always make a black tea for me, and they'd really steep it, but they'd steep it with a little bit of ginger, and then they would put the cream and the sugar, just perfect. Anyway, that's how I feel about it this morning. This is gonna burn my lips off, I just know it. Oh yeah, I can't even put the lips on the mouth. Okay. You know what? We need a little smoke this morning. Ooh, I got the candle going, but I don't have any smoke going. I think it's gonna be a day. I'm not gonna lie. When I used to work with children, I always noticed that on the days that it rained, all the kids would just be crying all day. I used to call it Weepy Wednesdays, even if it wasn't a Wednesday. Today has a bit of a Weepy Wednesday feel. In fact, it was also last night for myself. Felt like a bit of a Weepy Wednesday. And I did a reading last night. It was too weird. I got 35 minutes into it. It was too weird that I had to leave it. But definitely there was a strange heaviness. It was a very interesting reading. I will say that. The only thing I'll say about the reading last night, because as I said in the reading last night, in all of my 25 years of reading tarot, I had never seen a layout of cards, and I think I had probably like 25 cards on the table. Yeah, like 3, 6, 9. I clarified with like 3. Anyway, ton of cards. None of the cards with the people, and it was this deck. So lots of people. Normally I look at how the cards interact. No one was interacting with each other. The eyes, everyone's eyes were everywhere else. There was like no point of connection. It was very interesting. So I don't know. I feel like we got a bit of a theme here this morning. And I also did hear something else this morning, but it kind of feels heavy. But I'm like, well, I like to keep it real on the channel. I might save that for another reading. But here we are. Here we are. Well, happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. Also, new moon in Gemini. What are we going to do with this energy? Let's focus on that this morning. Oh, I'm already hearing a siren. Uh-oh, who needs an ambulance at this time? I hope they're going to be okay. Let's send out a little prayer, you know? Okay. Well, while we're waiting, let's call in those crowd favorites: God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, Archangels, all ascended masters, all of my benevolent ancestors, anyone that you're working and praying with. Recently, now, if you're new to the channel, you gotta know a couple things. I talked to my grandmama, because she's passed, but grandmama was like literally a saint. She prayed for everybody. Her prayers worked. She cured me once of it. God knows what was going on with my body. The doctors didn't know. And she died in prayer. So she was a Pisces, so you're always going to hear me reference her. I have a cat named Chicken, Chicken Baby, aka Bonita Fajita. She's sleeping right now, but she'll probably chirp. Ooh, are we going to go back to this deck? Yeah. Well, no. 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 We're going to stick. Well, who wants to become out? I don't know. Choices. You know what? It's so funny. This deck, like I said, it wouldn't normally be my go-to. It was gifted to me, and oddly enough, like, it's aesthetically, like, artistically, like, and this is no knock to the creators. It's just an aesthetical thing. And I always feel terrible saying it, but it just would not be my first go-to. But the last few days, all I want to use is this deck. You ever found yourself surprised by your own preferences when you know it's not in your preference, but you're like wanting something anyways? Okay, so let's get into a new moon. A new moon in Gemini. Okay. Well, Grandmama. Take us away, Grandmama. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I got a little neck crack in there. Okay. Grandmama. We got the collective. It's a new moon. It's June 14th. The Emperor. This guy was out all day yesterday. Okay. So, MP Emperor. Okay. I just want to, please, just, at least for now. For clarifying in 2 comes out, it's a little bit easier, but I got a bit of a system here. Okay. So, the Emperor. Well, that's a pretty good, oh boy, 10 of Wands. Look at all those damn snakes. That is burdensome. Like, I'm nervous around snakes. I could probably handle one, like a garter snake, you know, like something real chill, cutie patootie. This is a lot of snakes. Oddly enough, though, I don't know, for someone with all those damn snakes on her, she actually kind of looks comfortable. What's that about? Is someone being comfortable with their burdens? Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh, Judgment. Okay. Now, right on the hop, I'm going to just show you, because when they lay together, again, it's the interaction. I feel like collective, this is you, you're the Emperor, or put yourself where it fits, but always the first card is technically your energy. So if you get fussy about it, you take it up your spirit team. Okay. But I feel like these two, and this is what's between them. It's a big pile of snakes. There's burdens. Someone is stabbing a sword. It seems very definitive. Lady Judgment here is having some feelings and is kind of head tilted towards the Emperor. Like they're both kind of facing each other, but again, no eyes are connecting. Okay. Okay, so what's going underneath the Emperor, Grandmama? The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Sorry to slurp, guys. I know the ASMR probably on the slurping. If you have sound stuff, I get it. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to burn my lips off. It's the first coffee of the morning. I apologize. Okay. So we have the Seven of Pentacles under the Emperor. What's going underneath the Ten of Wands, Grandmama? Uh-oh, we gotta show it quickly again because there's freedom boobies. Okay, High Priestess. Here, I'll put a couple fingers so if you really And again, it's a sultry high priestess, as mentioned yesterday when she came out. Also, she's having a bit of a bird bath here, splish splash. You know, I approve. Okay, she's getting floofy. Okay. Yeah, there's something again about these two. You know, I was saying about being comfortable with the burdens. This is like the same person, or like the same energy, because this is sitting directly underneath the Ten of Wands. But yeah, there's something like, it's almost like the burdens are familiar. That's why someone's too comfortable, and it kind of has almost become like a bit of a kink, if you will. Okay, let's see what's going underneath. We don't know until we know. We got to get all the cards out. We're going to pull some clarifiers. Yada, yada, yada. What's this? Right, which one was it that I felt? Oh, God, 3. Well, who's going where? Hold on, I'm not looking. Okay, you could go there. It's like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. No, it's definitely not you. Okay, you know what? In doubt, I don't want to play this game. Yeah, there's something about like... Yeah, someone doesn't want to play games. Wow, the Page of Pentacles. He was out yesterday too, going underneath Judgment. Okay. So what's going underneath the Emperor to the 7 of Pentacles? The King of Cups. Okay. Now, I noticed this yesterday. I was thinking about this card because, like I said, it's a pretty new deck for me. And even when it's not a new deck, I always notice like a million new details. And I'm like, how did I never not see this? So yesterday I had noted, I was like, they don't look like fish. They could be eels, but we got little heads poking up here. But what's interesting, though, is that there's these like 3 golden fish up by his head, up in the air. So like out of the element, but they also seem like to be the favored. Not really sure what that means yet, but it is interesting. Uh-oh. Oh, I just heard Tears of a Clown. That's what I just heard in my mind's eye, and that is a song. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking, but the card does seem... It's the Page of Cups. I don't like to pull a card if I'm not necessarily focused. Okay, so Judgment to the Page of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. Okay, we definitely need some clarifiers. This is interesting. Now, it's weird. Normally when I pull, I'll read it like a story for you, but sometimes, in the way that I lay it, it seems really apparent when there's like 2 distinct people, and then I feel like they get their rows, and then there's this like communication. In this one, I see both that all of the pile is you collective, but I also am seeing you're the Emperor, and there's this secondary person, the Judgment, Page of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and then this dynamic of 10 of Wands, High Priestess, Page of Cups. What do we want to clarify with? Okay, we are going to go now back to Mystical Moments deck. Okay. Let's just do a little chef. Okay. So Grandmama, let's clarify this Emperor energy, because again, it's a really particular... Oh, King of Swords. to be honest, I kind of feel like you're stabbing a King of Swords. But we are in Gemini season. You just could be an emperor who has a lot of clarity. Now, I love this King of Swords. He's got his kimono. In fact, I found a kimono shop yesterday. In all the years that I've lived in this city, it was like a secret hidden, like off of this tiny little street. It was gorgeous. Anyways, it was just all kimonos. But yeah, I like him because I feel like even with his outfit, it's soft and it's floral and his eyes are sharp and he's got this bird eye, so he sees everything, and he does have his samurai sword there, but like everything about his disposition is really like discerning, soft, approachable. Like I would approach him. I've seen a few King of Swords in different decks where I'm like, but I would approach this guy. Okay. So, the Emperor to the King of Swords. Again, there's just a bit of a juxtaposition here between the energies of that the Emperor to the King of Swords. Are you mad at a Gemini right now? It's okay, you can be honest. This person doesn't have to be a Gemini. They could be any air sign, or they could just have the qualities of what that card represents. Okay, I just want to get a little snoopy real quick. Grandmama, clarify the King of Swords. Is this a different person or is this the Emperor? 2. Oh boy. No. This King of Swords, I guess, has hurt you. Wow, these two cards together, and that's why you are taking your sword like that Emperor and you're stabbing it. Okay, so now I'm guessing then the Judgment, Page of Pentacles, 2 of Wands is probably this King of Swords. Okay. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about that 10 of Wands. 2. Okay, so these burdens that I was saying you look a little bit comfortable with. It's interesting because you're a King of Cups. So you could have Aries. Now, again, the signs, they don't have to be, but the Emperor is ruled by Aries. But we have 2 King of Cups, so you could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Now, I love this King of Cups, but I've said this a few times in readings about this. Like, look how stormy. This to me is very a Scorpio. Out of all of the water signs, this would be a Scorpio card. Very stormy, dark. And so you're kind of led to believe that this person lets people in. Technically, you would be correct. But what I've always said, though, is that this person is holding back their ship. Like, there seems to be this, like, look at how open I am. But in actuality, it's the most important piece is being held back. And so when I see these two together, and in reference, like clarifying the 10 of Wands, what I said about being comfortable with all of those snakes and burdens, I see that depicted here. There's like this balancing, but look again at the elements. This is like a lot of ocean, a lot of water, but this is like up in the air. So I feel like you were struggling to balance something, and it has something to do with an element within yourself. And oh, you know what it is that you're good alone. Like, you can, just like with this 10 of Wands, like, she's alone with all of these snakes, but she's comfortable. And I think part of it is that when you're alone, your burdens can become like a friend in a way, you know? Like, it's familiar, so it's comfortable. And because we see a second ship coming in, I feel like this is what took you out of your element, is trying to balance burdens and also sharing the important piece of yourself. Okay. Let's put this under here. Oof, got a lot of cards. Okay, hold on. It's gonna get messy. Okay, hold on, I'll put it like this. Okay, so let's talk about Judgment, who I feel like is the King of Swords. 2. Oh, so Judgment to Justice to 8 of Cups. Okay, so that's why you're hurt, because this person made a judgment. Now look at how in both cards, see how she's looking down? I know it doesn't seem the best anymore, but like, really, what's the word? It'll come in a sec. But you see what I mean? There's this kind of like, when something is so close to your heart, and when, I don't know, I feel like this was a difficult decision to be made, and one that they don't feel good about. That's what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, because she does, like, to me, this has a bit of sorrow or sadness with this look. Okay. Yeah, and a walking away. So I'm gonna say that you two were romantically involved. With the 7 of Pentacles here, I'm hearing that you're stubborn like a bull. Because look at how virile and healthy this bull is. Now, technically, in the 7 of Pentacles, it's always an indication of time put into something. A lot of time had been focused into something. Now, a lot of times we don't see the fruition. In this particular deck, she's in an apple tree holding half an apple. It'd be interesting, actually, to see if that card comes out. But I heard, yeah, you're stubborn like a bull. And I feel as though there was, like, good things here. It's really weird, though. These fruits coming out of the ground. There's no tree. And to be honest, it reminds me of working in the kitchen. I don't feel like this represents the natural shape of her breast. It reminds me of when you work in a kitchen and you usually have your apron and you have to go grab stuff for the line, and so you'll grab like potatoes or like onions and you'll put it in there. I feel like this person was using her shirt to be like, oh, let's get some of these apples or whatever that fruit is. Something was more than you could carry. The fruition, because there is fruition here, but there's no tree. You don't have a basket. That bull is probably just going to eat the apples. So something was more than you could carry. The benefits. Okay, so let's clarify. The 7 of Pentacles. Oh my god, if that's 7 of Pentacles, because she's wearing a sad bonnet up in a tree. No, we have the 9 of Cups. Well, The reason why you invested is because it felt like wish fulfillment. Now, oddly enough, this card came out last night when I was doing that weird reading. And the thing I had noticed, because there was, again, 2 people on the table, and there was the 9 of Pentacles to this 9 of Cups, and every single card that represented each person, but this person in particular, and every other card that represented them, they were covered, especially the chest, whereas the other person, it was open. And yeah, like, she's dressed to the nines, but it's true, like, this is armor. So it's kind of reminding me, to be honest, of that King of Cups. Where did you go? Oh my god, did I put you back in the deck? Oh no, you're over here. Yeah. Like, you look open, like, you look gorgeous, but to get access to you, you'd really have to undo a couple things here. Okay. So, what's up with this sexy high priestess? Let's clarify that, Grandmama. Ooh, the 8 of Swords. To the Hierophant. Okay, well, in the 8 of Swords, it's really... Oh, so this must be about trust, because High Priestess is also about intuition. She works alone, but she really is, in a sense, kind of the counterpart to the Hierophant, because both are messengers to and of God, Spirit, whatever you refer to your higher power as. Yeah, there's something here about the sexiness of this card. But interesting, like, when we look at this Hierophant, out of the whole deck, this one is very different because it's been illustrated in a way to match, what's her nuts? Alice in Wonderland? Yeah. So, like, there's this illustration. I feel as though you're probably very intuitive, especially if you are a water sign or if you have a lot of water in your chart. I feel like you naturally have a relationship to, again, whatever it is that you pray to. Okay, what's up with this sexiness, though, that you're showing me, Spirit? Because there's the 6 of Cups. So, again, the 6 of Cups is sweetness. There's something here about childhood. But I'm not sure I'm making the connection to this sexy High Priestess. Somehow, some way, there's something that either occurred or occurs for you around this is, I don't know. Okay, hold on. There's a very interesting energy here. Because, like, you're an angel in a cage, but the cage is open. Oh, interesting. I've never noticed this before. There's all of these different paths. So it's like, on one hand, I feel like there's like all of these different ways of approaching an issue. And literally, the cage is open. You are free to go. And not only that, like, you have wings outside of the cage. You have literally all of these footpaths. You can't miss them. Oh, you can't see the forest for the trees. But then it's interesting, because then you're up in a tree with this owl. There's something here that makes me uncomfortable about the sexy card. I'm not quite sure what that means for you yet. But there is a reference here to something either religious or spiritual, because I see this connection in your childhood. But I feel like something occurred for you to connect your sensuality and your sexuality to your spirituality. And I feel like it's because we see that you're holding back in that original King of Cups. That what I said was your most important piece is the thing that you're holding back. But the thing that's really open and exposed is this very, what should be an intimate thing. Oh, so you're not good with emotions, but you're good with sexiness. Aha. That's where you're comfortable. Okay, sorry, Spirit. Sorry, team. That took me a hot second. Yeah, so you hold the most important piece back. The way that you feel like you know how to intuitively connect to someone is through your sexuality and your sensuality. But it hasn't worked for you in this instance because you're in the Eight of Swords, but you're not looking. So there's all of these paths that are just like, it's really clear. And I feel like you have a connection to your faith and spirituality. So like you're learning, but you're not applying. And there's this like real emphasis on thinking back to the past. Okay. Got it. Okay, so now put that here. So what's up with the Page of Pentacles? Because that's going underneath that King of Swords person under Judgment. The Four of Wands. Well, I think this King of Swords, like, because the Page of Pentacles, again, it's walking right towards me. Mastered harsh conditions, but is like easy breezy about it. And they're walking directly towards me, so I feel like this person, they wanted to offer you, like, they were coming directly towards you. They don't have a lot, but what they have, they wanted to give to you. And like what they wanted was the Four of Wands with you. Dance the night away on that little hot tin roof there. Okay, so now we're going back into your King of Cups again. Okay, so let's clarify it. The Two of Swords. Look at all this tree stuff and not being able to see the forest for the trees. And what did I say about the elements? So we're clarifying your King of Cups again. But we're now deep in the forest. Yeah, can't see the forest for the trees. Literally a forest. See? There's a forest here. You're up in a tree. But you can't see But, like, you need to make a decision. This person's already made a decision. So they've walked away. But see how there's still, like, two birds? And, like, what did I say? Like, this person, two birds, they wanted to have a home with you. They wanted to go the distance. Let's get one more as a clarifier. I said that Nine of Pentacles, this is the one. Look at the difference. Armor, big ruffles around the neck. This, like, I don't know, candlestick fan. And this person, even the colors are different. This is dark yellow, sunny, open. She's talking to a little bird. On this one, there's a cutie snail in this corner. Yeah, there's a little cutie snail. He's peering over. She's got fruit. Yeah. So I think the decision is around this person. This, like, who you are, like, stabbing your sword into. You're really hurt. But from what I'm seeing, I don't see this person as doing anything terrible other than, like, they wanted something with you. Nothing about their character is showing up as bad. In fact, again, it's really open. It's really, like, and even in that King of Swords, it's like the softest, most approachable King of Swords. Okay, so now, see that now there's a Page of Cups, but it's past facing. Okay, so let's clarify this Page of Cups. The Devil. Again, emotions aren't your strongest suit, oddly enough, even though you're all that water. It's the thing you hold back. The Page of Cups is right underneath the High Priestess. The Page of Cups now is clarified by the Devil, but she's holding these little cherries. So I feel like what you had offered in the past was a lot of sexual intensity. I feel as though you thought you were offering a lot of emotion, and that's not what's showing up here. And it's like, see, you have your toe just slightly dipped in the water, you know? High Priestess, it's shallow water. Her foot's, you know, but it's not deep. But we know you have incredible depth. Based off of the first King of Cups, there's incredible depth of emotion, but you hold back. You let people sail right on through and by, but you hold back. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say to the Devil? Page of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, fuck like rabbits. Hate to be crude. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is really loving. Great mama. But again, this is past facing. So, same with the Devil. All of this is past facing. So, in the past, well, in the Queen of Pentacles, she has penties. She's the Queen of Penties, so she's got pentacles to spare. So, I don't doubt that you're generous. I don't doubt that you have a wide breadth of emotion. But what I'm being shown, though, is that you're really hurt. You feel really betrayed. But based off of, like, not being able to see the forest for the trees, being comfortable with your burdens and with being alone, and by feeling as though the only way to draw people towards you and connect in this higher way is through sexiness. And with that devil, like, the high priestess, like, to me, sex is sacred. Everything has the potential to be evolved or devolved. So sex it's a spectrum. But, like, sensuality, sex, it can be really sacred. But there can also be this energy of, like, luring people. Like, that's, you know? Okay. 2 of Wands. Queen of Swords. So the 2 of Wands is always about planning. Now, he's also past facing. Now, what's interesting is, like, what does this snake have balanced? To me, it's reminding me of this hot air balloon. Like, I think in the past you were planning to see things clearly. Like, I feel as though you wanted to match the energy of the King of Swords. But there's something here about application, because, see, when it actually gets applied, it's not even you who's balancing, it's a snake of yours. Probably one of your 10 snakes. But the real application looks like this. And again, see the softness? Like, and also, again, the forest for the trees. So it's like, I feel like you planned. There must have been conversations, because I feel like you were planning. You wanted to see, you wanted to understand. And again, I think you thought you were really executing it in a way that felt like this. But again, he's in a very arid desert. There's not a lot of life happening. But here, look at this canopy of trees. It's filled with life and vitality. Okay. Okay. So, let's put these, now that we know what's happening. Okay. So you're hurt, collective. Okay, so Grandmama, what then is the message for the collective in this situation? The 6 of Pentacles. Pour into your own cup. Because, see, we have the scales again. In the ways that there wasn't balance, because, see, this is the fisherman. And because you had that big sailboat and stuff, I feel like this is you. Pour into your own cup so that there's equilibrium. And even though it's supposed to be pentacles, it's depicted by water. How interesting, because we already saw you as the Queen of Pentacles, giving in this way, giving through either the monetary or giving through sexiness. And so the spirit team wants you to be like, I want you to pour back into yourself. And yes, it should technically be a pentacle, but this is like an emotional pouring into. Treat yourself. Okay, so Grandmama, what do you want the collective to know well, I wasn't quite done. It's the 10 of Cups to the 5 of Wands. This is one of the cards that came out yesterday where I was like, you know, the chest is covered. She's holding her queen to her chest. Anyway, okay. Okay, going back to what I was saying about the emotion. Look, this 10 of Cups, look, they're a little fish family. They're in their element, and they're both fully submerged. Not like the Queen or the King of Cups that we saw, where, again, going through the rock too. And that's also, think about that, you know, in terms of element. That's like big, thick rock. And yes, you have made an opening, but the material is hard, you know? But if we look at this 5 of Wands, going back to the canopy of trees, it's like, I feel like on one hand, again, any type of insight, it's a bit of a game that you're playing. Checkers, it's about strategy. And see, look, again, she looks morose. She's playing checkers on her dress. But, like, you know, she's kind of manhandling this person, but I feel like there's a bit of, the nice way of putting it would be a bit of strategy around this relationship. But what I'm seeing is that this person came in correct, but they had to make a decision. Yeah. Do I stay or do I go? They found their balance. Okay, so real quick before we end this. Okay, so is there anything else that's going to occur in this relationship? It seems pretty dunsies. You're in the 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, Emperor, stabbing your sword. Okay. Well, we saw you pouring into you, but this is the healing card. Okay. Is there any possibility of reconciling? Queen of Cups. Now, see, look at this Queen of Cups. She's in the water. Also has the octopus hair. But see, that other one was out of the water. This is in the water. This is in the element. And when I look at this star, this to me seems like it's underwater as well. Oh, interesting. I feel like we're seeing the 2 elements of air, that King of Swords, to the water, and in between is healing. Okay, so collective, what are you going to decide to do? Well, you're going to be a King of Pentacles. But look, your chest is open. Look. And now you have sunflowers. And look, there's like a little town going on in your hair. A little town party. Okay. So you're grounding the emotions. You are pouring into yourself. You are going to heal. Okay, how do you feel about the King of Swords? King of Swords. That's how you feel about him. You're very clear about how you feel about him or her. Yeah, again, back to this juggling, being out of your element. Seven of Cups. Again, we saw it throughout the reading. When you wish upon a star, both of you, the one thing I will say is both of you chose each other. And like a King of Swords, whether they're Gemini or not, or an air sign or not, like a King of Swords, the one that you can trust is that if they make a decision about something, oh, they, like, it's for real. You can trust it, you know? But the Seven of Cups is also about, yeah, like, this one is more depicted as like a dream. Like, it feels like it's inaccessible to you at this point. It feels like a dream, but it is the thing that you are pointing to, you want. Okay, hold on. My phone is gonna die soon. This is a little bit longer. Okay. Are you two going to talk again? Oh, the Emperor. Well, look. You've softened. See? From stabbing to leading. And we saw with that Queen, or the King of Pentacles, the Tower. So it's like, now you have brambles for a mustache. So it tells me the forest for the tree. And see, look, you are in the forest. See, in this one, he can't see anything because he's just stabbing. And it's emotional. Okay, so you're now into a softer Emperor. Okay. Anything else about this relationship? Well, you're thinking about it sweetly. There's things about it. Yeah, I see this softness coming. For the King of Swords. Okay, so how's the King of Swords either dealing with this or moving forward? The Hanged Man. Yeah, a King of Swords would be thinking. Now it's raining. The Seven of Pentacles. See, I knew it. I knew it was going to come out. I knew it. See? But in this one, they're sad. They're holding half an apple. They got on the sad bonnet. And see, look at all the fruit. But they don't want that fruit. They wanted this, you know, they're holding half the apple, which is like, you have the other half. Okay, Grandmama, is there any hope for you two? Okay, so to me this is clarified that it was the King of Swords that walked away. For the Ace of Cups to the Ten of Pentacles, and this is like family. I feel like there's two lines here. I feel like, I'm gonna be real, collective, if you pour into yourself and you take the time to do some healing and sorting some stuff out and get to a higher perspective, I feel like, because we saw it, this person wanted to have a family with you. They wanted to go all in. But I could also see this person, there's two stories here. It's like, if you do the work, if you sort stuff out, there is the potential for this. If you don't, this person walked away because at the end of the day, it's like, this is what they wanted. And they can dream too. And if it can't be with you, then they're going to hold out for that. But they want it to feel like this, you know? Whoa. Okay. Well, collective, I can guarantee that is not the message you wanted to hear. I'm almost certain I'll probably get a couple unfollows and people clicking off right away. That's okay. It's not my job to make anyone feel super comfortable. My job is just to relay the messages. But I see two people that could have a beautiful thing. That is for sure. Okay, well, take care of your little hearts. Stay blessed, stay golden.